has been said here, all very important. But let me just re-emphasize that this panel also handles the issue of the Diaspora Commission bill, which seems to be the right time to tell that into what we've been talking about. And also, I believe information is power. So, Balomi talks about brain drain. How do we turn our brain drain to brain gain? You know, fortunately, that's also is on the lines of the visions of NIDOA. If anybody, any member of NIDOA will tell you is on that mission, is to convert Nigerian brain drain to brain gain. And this is one of the ways we do it, is bringing all Nigerian professionals together to dialogue and you know, forge meaningful initiatives that benefits our country, Nigeria. Dr. Dida, you hit the right notes when you ask how do the State Department collaborate with Nigerians, but more importantly, you talked about the issue of voting rights, and that brings me to this Diaspora Commission. For anyone who may not know, NIDOA, from the very inception, found out very easily that just with any other, like with any other bureaucracy, that dealing with our government has no silver bullet. Many of us in the past were going solo, trying to do the NIDOA business as rookies or renegades, you know, wanting to go all alone to meet this person in the presidency or that person. And we found out the hard way that that doesn't work. And for us to be able to establish anything tangible, we need a legislative mandate. And that is how we birthed the Diaspora Commission bill. And alongside that was also the Diaspora voting bill. So we labored over the years and lobbied our hearts out on these two bills. And long story short, we were able to get the Diaspora Commission bill passed. Now, I don't want to get into all the red meat on the bill. That's a lot in that. But talking about the voting bill of rights, we've had so many pushback from our politicians for the obvious reasons. You know, there has been so many pontifications and assumptions from everybody saying, well, they don't want to have the voting bill passed because of fear of retribution from the diaspora. Well, you can pick take your pick, but the truth about that was that Nigeria, as we know it, was not actually ready for that in principle, because there's so many infrastructure that needs to be in place before that can take place. But the good news, it may interest you, is that we're getting very close to that now, because the 8th Senate, which is the sitting Senate currently, has passed the bill allowing the use of electronic system in our voting. That is essentially the gateway to hopefully getting the voting bill of rights passed. I mean, the Diaspora voting bill passed. Why do I say that? Because the biggest contention over the years was that, well, Nigerian voting system is not even trusted. How could we push for the diaspora voting when we can't even trust our national voting system? But now the electronic system has been passed, meaning the INEC has been literally empowered to try using the electronic system in their voting apparatus. Now, we're hoping that they're going to implement that in 2019. And if that goes through, that will be litmus test to allow us to get back on the table for the diaspora voting. Because until that is established, it's still going to use the electronic system for the voting, right? So we're going to give them the pilot, position to use the pilot run, do the pilot run for that. And if that succeeds, well, that gets us one hurdle closer to pushing for the diaspora voting. So that's where we are, Dr. Data. It's important that you know that. But back to the Diaspora Commission bill, it was set up for this. NIDOA built the bill, wrote it over 10 years ago, lobbied our hearts out, and I always like to give credit to a lady, BK Dabiru, who was essentially the crusader for this bill, starting with the 7th Senate. She got it passed, but it couldn't be rectified at the 7th Senate, and finally came to the 8th Senate, the current Senate, and they were able to pass it. Now is a law. We're hoping that next year, if this Diaspora Commission is established and populated, it becomes the platform for NIDOA. For any lobbying we need to do, all this we're worrying about, how does the government collaborate with NIDOA? That is what that agency was designed to do. They'll offload most of the roles of the Nigerian Foreign Mission and be able to directly address or cater to the needs of the diaspora. Everything we want to do as far as building databases, knowing where all Nigerians are, and be able to update those databases will be their responsibility. So all I can say is that there's progress, yes, at a snail pace, but it's coming. If everybody can at least continue to be plugged in and be patient. What else was addressed? I thought one other important aspect is the U.S. Department. Again, I believe over time the Commission would take responsibility for some of these gaps. Gaps in the sense that the U.S. Department of State should not be organizing initiatives or programs that target our professionals without going through the right channel. And this has often happened a few times. Even Nigerian government coming looking for one expertise or the other in diaspora without going through a proper channel. So there needs to be a coordinated effort on this front. And I believe even the U.S. Department would eventually, if we are able to build that relationship and partnership, they'll be able to know there's an organization besides the Nigerian Foreign Mission that you can actually reach out to, and we know all our leaders and all our professionals all over the world. And by the way, it's important to also remind everybody that NIDOA is worldwide. We have NIDOA Europe, the same platform you have here is in Europe, is in Asia, is in Africa. So we're a global platform, and it is designed to be, again, a pool of an intellectual resource for the country. So in the future, when those kind of events are planned, it's important that we looked in, because whatever you're looking for, we can help you deliver those. So that collaboration, I think, is very critical at this point. And I will yield for my panelists to contribute. Thank you.
Thank you, Ndubisi. Before I ask other panel members to contribute or respond to some of the concerns or questions raised by the floor, I just also wanted to piggyback on the question that Dr. Odida, I think, asked about the voting rights of diasporans. The Diaspora voting bill was also one of the issues that were deliberated upon at the last 2018 Diaspora Day in Abuja. And I just want to give you a direct response from the Nigerian government, which is the #1 challenge facing diasporans, in terms of election and voting, is the database, a credible diasporan database. That was the #1 response we got this year from a government rep, because all the diasporans that were in that hall had the same concern about voting, just like you just expressed right here. And they said, not until we have a credible diasporan database, we cannot move forward, even with the electronics that Ndubisi George is alluding to right now. It's not going to happen. So it's the development of that database is the #1 step forward that needs to be accomplished before they can even start deliberating on diasporans voting or not. The Diaspora voting bill was put together with the Diaspora Commission, but for some reason, the voting bill has taken a side. Listen, nobody's paying attention to that at all because of the
number one issue, which is database. Nobody can account for any Nigerian diaspora in terms of who are they and what are they all about outside of Nigeria. Okay?
Having said that, also, panel members, if you want to respond, because we need our chair lady, Ms. Patience Keys, to give us a call to action. We know that also as we deliberate on issues and call on the Home Department lady here, let us also recognize the fact that we have Nigerian reps here. Just like our Honorable Ambassador from New York has stated, that they should be dealing with our Nigerian rep. So regardless of what is happening, we should follow protocol. Okay, I just want to put it out here because we have our Nigerian representative in our midst this afternoon. So regardless of what is happening, what I heard from him was collaboration between the Home Office and the Nigerian government. And, okay, so that whatever is happening, we, the diasporans, can even work. And he's told us here, there's a lot of things he's finding out that we do not know as diasporans, that he's finding out. So let's keep that line chain of command open when we deal with the Home Department here. Because we don't want anybody to step on our government reps here. Okay, we must follow protocol because we're all Nigerians, regardless of whether we're in diaspora or not. Okay? So having said that, let me call on who has the mic and give it to Patience Keys so that she can conclude this session, because I'm being told that the food is about to be taken away. So what we're trying to do right now is to abridge what we're having. The second session might probably come after the meals, because they're about to take the meal away. That's what I'm being told. So let's just...
Those of you who pose questions will be right, like having to talk to you one-on-one after. Maybe over lunch.